Hello friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be sneaking a peek at some brand new stuff from Trinity Stamps. And we're going to go ahead and just jump on in and get started. I am going to be using 3 new products. One of them is shown before. A couple are new. Well, they're all new, but not shown in a video before. We're going to start off with our graduate tassel cut and foil. So I'm pulling out the pieces that need to be foiled, and I'm going to tack that down with a little bit of polished brass foil. And I'm using some mint tape to hold that in place. We're going to do this onto some black cardstock. I've got my Glimmer hot foil system heating up right now. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. Typically you would throw that on when the button says it's like ready. And then you press your timer once you've put your piece on. My timer is now done. It's gone off. So I'm going to pull this out, stick down on top the plates, and then run this through my Platinum 6. And then after everything is nice and foiled, I'm going to foil 2 of those tassels. We're going to run this through our die cutting machine with the matching dies. So we'll have those pieces all ready. And then I'm going to bring in the double line check background. This is new. And I'm going to ink this up with some Blackout 3 by Ink on 3. So now this is a clear stamp, as you can see, and I have found for me the best way to stamp these out is to ink up the stamp, leave it on its packaging, basically pull off that release paper, ink it up, then put my paper to the stamp, and then just rub. I never have a problem when I do it this way. Now I did miss a little spot on there, I think it's just one spot that I missed, but I'm not concerned about it. It's going to end up getting covered. And I'm going to trim this down just a tiny bit. So this is going to end up being 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So that's not going to be the full front of an A2 size card because I'm going to use that black cardstock that you see there. Yes, it does have a die cut out of the center, but no one will see that. The rest of that panel is 4.25 by 5.5 inches. So that's the full front of an A2 size card. Now you see some letters here. Those letters come from our Grad sentiment die. So I'm going to take some tweezers, some reverse tweezers, and I'm going to use my Crafty Gluefriend on these letters. And these letters come with not only the letter, but the shadow that goes with it. So I've got my white cardstock. We're going to use our black shadow. And I like this because you could match these up to whatever color your grad, whatever school color your grad is graduating from. So like my daughter will be graduating from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And so those colors are like a navy blue or a royal blue, more or less. And so I could have done that way. I think that would have been kind of fun. But I'm going with generic here, the black and gold. I say generic, but it feels so regal to me. I love it. I think it's cool. All right, so we'll have our grad all done. Now I'm going to attach my white panel that has our double line check background on it. We're going to attach that down with our Crafty Gluefriend to that black piece of cardstock and leave just a black border on that right hand side. So that's the only place you're going to see that border. And now I'm going to play around with placement of all my things. So that's the graduate tassel. That also has the words congratulations. And I'm going to use some of our thin foam strips. These are the adhesive foam strips. And then I'll trim some of these down. They're double-sided adhesive. And I'm going to play around, like I said, with placement. At the time, I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted everything to go, but I highly recommend just playing around with it before you start attaching anything, because I have made that mistake before where you think you know exactly where everything's going to go, then you start placing things down and it doesn't fit. And this would have been one of those examples. I almost did that. So I'm going to peel off that release paper on our tassel, and I'll attach that down to that far left-hand side. And then I'm going to start using some of that Crafty Gluefriend on our word grad. And some of that is going to overlap because I want that to fit really well. And I think it looks kind of cool with those letters overlapping a little bit. So we've got the R. That's going to kind of go underneath our G just a tiny bit. Our A is going to overlap the bottom of the R a little bit. And then we can easily fit our D on there as well. I love the sentiment or the font of this sentiment. I just think it's super cool. I would love to see it in all the letters, to be honest with you. Some shadow and all the letters, you know, the letter and the shadow. And then I'm going to use that Crafty Gluefriend on the word congratulations to go above it. So we've got congratulations grad with that tassel on there. And I decide I don't want to stop there. Originally I had brought in these black magic rhinestones, but then I decided against that. I decided to bring in the gold star embellishments. I just thought those were perfect, and the gold matched pretty well with the polished brass that I had used. So I'm going to use my pickup stick. I've put all those in the tidy tray, which makes it so easy to be able to see what you have there. And then I pick it up with that pickup stick, and then I'll use my Crafty Gluefriend to attach everything down. And that dries clear, which is great because sometimes I get a little heavy-handed with that glue. But I was very liberal with those stars, and I love how this panel turned out. So once I get all of those attached, I'm going to need to get my base ready. So that's going to measure 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. And then I can attach down my panel to the very front of our card base using some more of that Crafty Gluefriend. I love using liquid glue because I feel like that gives you a little bit of wiggle room there. And this doesn't buckle, which is really nice as well. Then I have that one other tassel that I did because I like to, you know, tie the inside to the outside. And I'm just going to attach this one tassel on the inside of our card. That's all I'm going to put in there. This will leave me plenty of room to write to our recipient. But there you have it. There's a little sneaky peeky of our brand new graduate tassel cut in foil and the Grad sentiment die. I hope you love this card as much as I do. If you like this video, hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.